and welcome to News Night. On my right is the man with the highest office in the United States, newly elected to his second term in that office, Mr. Bill Clinton.
How y'all doing? Thank you, America.
And on my left, Sam Donaldson, a respected journalist. And on my way far left, George Will. Let me start this evening, Mr. President, by posing a question that has often occurred to many people given the scandalous nature of your previous activities, if you will pardon the phrase, although I'm not really saying that it's really true.
Well, David, I won't call those exactly scandals. But I'm here to talk about, number one, what I plan to do as the president. I plan to talk about economics, my economic growth plan, education, and things like that. Things like I've had enough of that kind of bashing by the Republicans.
It's not really a question like that, Mr. President. I was going to ask.
Go ahead.
What size shoe do you wear?
I wear a size 10.
Thank you. Perhaps Mr. Donaldson would have a question.
Mr. Clinton, yeah, there's a lot of talk that you brought out to the American people about it when you get reelected for a second term, that you plan on giving everybody a taco. Now, 85% of the people in this country, Mr. Clinton, do not think that you're going to come through with the taco issue. And another question I would have about that: do they get cheese in the taco? Do you get barbecue sauce, sour cream? What all comes on these tacos, Mr. Clinton? I would like you to answer that question for the people out there and for myself.
Well, Sam, the taco idea was something that one of my campaign advisors came up earlier last year during the campaign, and many people have posed me that same question. Americans are concerned out there. They want to, Mr. President, where's my taco? When can I see that taco, and will it be coming soon? And I have to tell you this, that those tacos are on their way. Anyone who voted for me will get that taco. Said taco can be, of any kind you like. You can have yourself a Mexican taco with cheese. You can have whatever you want to have. I prefer the taco with pig's feet and ham hocks. But
if I may interject, Mr. President,
it's really good. But they will have a taco or they won't.
If I may interject, Mr. President, will these tacos, will they be made of the freshest, most wholesome ingredients? Payday cheese, crisp lettuce.
Do you get him a Taco Bell, Mr. Clinton, or you go to the Hacienda, the Chi-Chi's?
And will they be high in
cholesterol? Where are we going to
cholesterol?
find these tacos, Mr. Clinton? I think that's what the people want to know in this country.
Well, I think the important thing here is that
hard or soft, Mr. President. Hard or
tortillas,
soft.
wheat tortillas, you get flour tortillas.
Will they be taco light or regular cholesterol-laden tacos?
Give me a moment here to answer your question. The issue here is not the taco. It's not what the taco can do for you. It's what I can do for the taco. And as your president, I will make sure that tacos of every shape, size, color, and creed will be living free in America.
Well, that's a splendid answer, Mr. President.
Mr. Clinton, I think another question is, do we get a taco? I mean, we're here asking you questions, giving you the fruits of our labor. Do our firm get a taco, or is it just go out to the American people? I think we have to know this. I think this is something that we...
excellent question.
Well, it depends on who,
Are you going to get a taco for each member of Congress?
Well, that's a lot of tacos. But,
well, Mr. Clinton, there's a lot of people
What about foreign aid? Will people in foreign countries also receive tacos?
Well, I don't know about it. Does anyone have any?
The UN.
I prefer not to talk anymore about the tacos. That's something we're still working out, and I hope to be able to give you more information on that sometime soon. But right now, that's about all I can offer for you. Sorry.
Perhaps Mr. Will has a question.
Legos, Mr. President. Our good friends in Denmark have brought us this wonderful, excellent, educational children's toy loved by children and adults across the world. Studies have shown time and time again that the American youth, education-wise, is falling drastically behind other countries as Japan. We are losing our competitive edge for the future, for the coming century, indeed the coming millennium, Mr. President. Other studies indicate that that the presence of Lego building blocks in the home increases a young person's curiosity and ability to create and think unconventionally and give him the competitive edge necessary in the modern world.
Interesting issue you brought up, but especially
If I may continue, George, the problem here being that the
George.
expense of Legos. That's me. I'm sorry. You're David. I apologize. I'm
Thank you.
very wrapped up in this Lego issue. It's
Well,
very-
please go on.
it's especially
The
an
price
important issue considering that you are, or have called yourself, the education president. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Wills?
Exactly. The price of Legos is skyrocketed in the past decade. Mr.
Tremendously, Mr.
It's made
President.
it very hard for the American people, the American youth, to buy Legos, or for their parents to get them for Christmas.
What do you plan to do about this?
Well, I say when
I remember
started-
when there were only Lincoln Logs.
Well,
As do I.
That brings up an interesting point. I said for the turn of the century, the turn of this millennium, I will be the Lego president. There will be a Lego set in every home. I say, that's why I'm elected president. We need to build a bridge to the future, not out of Lincoln Logs like my opponent would have wished, but out of Legos. And that bridge will go forever into the future. Now, there's going to be all sorts of Lego opportunities for children. You're going to have Duplo Legos. You're going to have regular Legos. You can have, they're bringing out Legos for girls now. We're going to have equal rights Legos for every American. And we're
What
gonna
about
get-
minorities, Mr. Clinton? There's lots of minorities in this country, the blacks, the Hispanics. What kind of Legos you plan to give for them, Mr. Clinton? I think that's a question that needs to be answered and needs to be
Indeed.
answered now.
Well, there's been much discussion on whether there should be black people Legos.
I mean, we understand the
or
discussion,
Indian
Mr.
Legos.
Clinton, but the question is, are they going to be produced for them? That's the question.
Well, at this time, our friends in Denmark have a very rigid plan for how they want their Legos to look. And I am working with those people in Denmark, and I will bring back the finest, the best quality of Legos that the world can provide for every American.
That brings us to another issue. Perhaps what is your opinion on the upcoming controversy regarding the fact that Legos, unlike Lincoln Logs, are not biodegradable, being made of plastic? And given your previous alliance or feelings towards the environmental cause, how would you answer that?
Well, I'd have to say that, like Legos, my administration tends to make a permanent effect on this planet. We are building a future here that we hope will stay for my children and Chelsea's children and all the other children in this country that will be coming. I want to leave behind a Lego legacy that will be known for thousands of years to come. Like the pyramids, we will build a Lego government that will run flawlessly for years to come.
Some would already argue that the government is extremely plastic as it is.
Much like Sam's hair.
Oh, Mr. Clinton, looks like not too long from now you'll be needing some the same thing for yourself. But I think another issue, unless of course David or George has anything that they'd want to bring out right now.
Please, right ahead.
Oh, thank you. Is the issue of war, Mr. Clinton? A lot of people have called you timid, shy, gun shy, not as strong as some of the Republican presidents that preceded you, Ronald Reagan, George Bush. What do you say about that, Mr. Clinton, in terms of your shyness or unwillingness to go to war, or lack of knowledge, avoiding the draft, and so forth?
Well, I have to tell you, Sam, I am not gun shy. I am perfectly willing to stand up and take arms when need be. Like, for instance, it's a couple of years ago, before I started getting stricter on these gun policies, I used to carry a gun myself until I almost shot off Chelsea's head when she was getting some Rice Krispies late at night. And some people said that would have been a good idea, but I have to tell you, accidents happen.
Well, Mr. Clinton, I think the real issue here that we're avoiding right now is the issue of war, Mr. Clinton. I mean, what's going to happen with the U.S.? Are we going to war or are we
War
not
with
going
who,
to
Sam?
war?
Who do you want us to go
Well,
to war with?
I predict we should go to war with Cuba, Mr. Clinton. I mean, Cuba, we're in an economic slump right now, Mr. Clinton. We need something to get out of it, and all this budget bopping that you claim to have an idea about, I think could really be solved if we go to war. I mean, the Bay of Pigs was a long time ago, Mr. Clinton. It's long been forgotten. Fidel Castro has feeling at ease at this time, and I think we should go for it, Mr. Clinton, and I think we want to know your thoughts on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, I will not invade Cuba for one good reason. I love those cigars. They're just fantastic
Perhaps
cigars.
an invasion
why,
of
Mr.
another
President.
place, a smaller,
And-
weaker country than Cuba, like perhaps Bolivia, something where
Well,
that'll be easier and quicker.
Well, Afghanistan, Mr. Clinton, something to get the United States back up. What do you think?
Well, not Afghanistan. Remember the Russians and their fiasco.
Well,
Indeed.
it was my feeling at one time that I wanted to attack Hawaii, but then I found out they were part of the Union, and that just wasn't going to work. But it was a nicer state for an invasion. You got nice weather. You got people who speak English.
Not like his
It'll
dad.
make you feel home.
Nice
What
place
about
to be stationed
Australia,
in the
Mr.
military.
Clinton? Australia,
yes.
they don't have much of a military in Australia. There's some good land out there. Then we could populate that area. Bring the U.S. back up a little bit.
Why not
Excellent
start a
plan.
war?
Excellent.
Well, see, I came here today to talk about tacos. I came here to talk about Legos and issues that are important to the American people. And I don't think the American people want us to engage in some sort of war that is going to affect, we're going to send all these young men out to a war that they could lose. I'm not going to go into anything being unprepared.
Well, Mr. Clinton, I have to argue on that point, Mr. Clinton, to say that the American people seem to, the morale goes up when we're in a war. You know, the support for Desert Storm.
Why not Germany? We fought them twice before and we've always won.
We are 2-0 versus Germany. I suggest a rematch may be in order, Mr. President.
Well, I don't know why we should attack Germany. Perhaps you better get that.
Excuse me, I'll get the camera. I think it's a good time to move to a station break.
Oh, well, we'll come back to that.
Freya? Yes, it's the revolutionary frozen friend of the 90s, Freya Pet. The amazing ice-coated Freya Pet can be used in a variety of helpful and fun-filled ways. Having trouble keeping beverages nice and cold? Let Freya Pet do the job. Need a useful and decorative centerpiece for your hors d'oeuvre tray? Just add Freya Pet to any platter. Tired of watery ice cubes ruining your lemonade? Just add Freya Pet to any refreshing drink. To create Freya Pet, simply add water to this handmade piece pottery made in Hong Kong and place it in the freezer overnight. The next day, remove it and enjoy your new icy friend. Add your favorite flavor to it to create a delicious Freya-sicle.
I love you, Freya Pet.
Freya. It's fun. It's useful. It's just plain cute. Order yours now. Just send $9.99 to Freya Pet, P.O. Box 219, Piffle Crinkle Avenue, Residue, California, 96530. Add $25 for postage and mishandling. Allow 6 to 8 weeks for it to get lost. Freya, order yours now.
Good evening and welcome back to News Night. I'm David Brinkley, and of course we have Sam Donaldson and George Will, and we're all talking with the latest second-term president, Mr. Bill Clinton. We had a call earlier this evening, just a moment, and the question was from a young lady in Topeka, Rhode Island. She wanted to ask if you can roll your tongue.
Can I roll my tongue?
Yes, sir. Can you? It's a genetic trait.
Well,
Some
you
can roll their
demonstrate.
tongue and some cannot.
Well, that's very nice, George. Well, there are many things people can do, and I can make a better economy. I can improve education. I can do many things that Bob Dole could not do, but I have to admit that I cannot roll my tongue. Although it depends, I've been with some very nice ladies in my lifetime, and they could probably tell you different.
But your belly button, Mr. President, is it an innie or an outie?
Well, I have to say proudly that it's an innie, and it's not because that I've been gaining weight, because I've been taking it off since during the campaign, and I've lost quite a few. Here's something I can do that very few Americans would know that I would be able to do this, but I can play different songs with my hands.
What, you mean like in your armpits, sir?
No.
I've seen him do this. This is quite efficacious. Would you demonstrate your prowess?
Yes, please, Mr.
Well, I
President.
sure will. Apart from playing the saxophone, I like to do a little percussion, so someone give me a song that you want me to play, and I'll play it.
Old Man River.
Hey, Jude.
Well, that's a little too slow. I need someone...
How about the 1812 Overture? I hear that's one of your specialties.
How about rock and roll by Led Zeppelin, Mr. Clinton? Can you do that?
The Lone Ranger thing, the 1812 overture.
I'll do that.
Everybody,
No, that's not the 1812.
Oh,
That was the
okay.
William Tell overture, I believe, was the. Yeah,
Well, I'll need complete silence for this gentleman. You'll have to bear with me while I warm up for this. Hands are a little frigid.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Clinton, the President of the
You're
United
gonna love
States,
this. Here I
on the
go.
added percussion.
Here it is, the kind of the Lone Ranger theme.
Splendid, yes. Pleasure working with you, Mr. Thomas.
That was fantastic. Oh, I should jam with you boys another time. That was just wonderful.
I believe Mr. Willer had a question for the president regarding baseball. We had what was that, Mr. Willer? I think it's a good question. Being the World Series just got over with, we can start reflecting on the baseball.
Baseball, Mr. President. Baseball. As you're aware, I may or may not be aware. I penned a little book a few years back on the subject of my favorite.
I remember
baseball.
that. I remember that book, George. I have that
This-
sitting on my shelf at home, right next to Green Eggs and Ham. I love that book.
I don't believe you, but anyway, as it stands, that book was a labor of love for me, and one of my favorite pastimes, as I say. However, there are grave concerns among the American populace of the recent controversies in baseball. Albert Bell selfishly going after his own personal numbers at the expense of his team. The whole Marge Schott controversy. The young man who caught the ball in Yankee Stadium.
The spit on the umpire. I don't
Roberto
forget that one.
Alomar, of course. I was getting to that one. There's a public outcry to ban professional baseball entirely from the country. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I have to say that banning baseball from America would be a terrible travesty. I think that America, as they've always said, America is like apple pie. America is like fireworks on the 4th of July. Baseball is like cheap booze on a Saturday evening when you feel like your wife is just trying to do your job and you've got an ugly kid and you just want to forget about everything. Well, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Mr. Clinton, I think what we have to understand right now is that baseball, it's an economic disaster as we look at it right now. We got players in baseball making God knows how much money, Mr. Clinton, and the economy could be spread out to other people in this country that could help raise their salary. If we banned baseball, that would generate a lot more money for the other people, Mr. Clinton. I think economic questions is something you want to know about.
Sam, it's not a matter of banning baseball. It's a matter of what you do with that baseball. I plan to be the baseball president. I will get a baseball in every home by the year 2000. I will make sure that children all over the world have an opportunity to catch them, or all over the country. We'll get to the world someday, but all over the country, we'll be able to catch a baseball. We'll be able to eat expensive hot dogs, overpriced drinks. We'll be able to take home a souvenir. I want this for the American children, just as I had it when I was a child back in Arkansas. Baseball holds one of the fondest memories for me, and I just get kind of emotionally worked up when I talk about it, because it means so much to me.
Really, Donaldson,
Mr. President.
absolutely ridiculous.
Mr. President.
Targeting baseball. If you
I
take
understand, David Brinkley, is that football is a different sport. People are becoming more into football and
Football is
basketball.
even more violent than baseball.
Violence is not the question,
Now,
David
baseball
Brinkley.
has pain. Let me tell you, I feel its pain.
When it hits you, right.
The balls the foul balls have put many people in the hospital, Mr. Clinton. That does not happen in football. You don't see
Oh.
the letter football go out in the stands
Unlike
and put some
people-
poor kid in the
Unlike
hospital.
people getting their femurs crushed and getting
But
losing
they get
spleens on
paid
the
$6
field.
million to do it, Mr. Brinkley. It's okay. That's what you gotta understand.
Well,
here
it's
about it.
teaching our children to beat the living hell out of each
Well,
other.
then let's ban professional
Absurd.
wrestling too while we're at it. Matter of fact,
That
let's
is the
ban
American
rugby.
way, David. That is the American way.
You fight for the top
This
Gentlemen,
country was forged
gentlemen.
with violence.
Gentlemen, I think we're forgetting something important here. I think we have to look back at our values. I think we need to sit back and think about we're all brothers in this great nation we call America. And we need to say, yes, there's some bad things out there. There's some things we want to keep our children away from, like strange men hiding behind corners and in sewers. We want to keep our children safe from buses that drive us off cliffs. And we want to say, yes, those are bad things, but we got to look at all the good things we have in this country.
We got pizza?
We got pizza.
Of course.
We've got
That's a very
tacos.
good idea.
We
Mr.
have
Douglas.
baseball.
We have
We have
Legos.
Legos.
We have baseball. We have me. And I think we just need to count our blessings.
We have my book on baseball available at your local
We have legal prostitution in Las Vegas.
We got wars. We got a war brewing with Cuba right now. That's another good thing. I think we have
Well-
to consider. Mr. Clinton, what do you think? Going back a little bit, Mr. Clinton, I have to say everything you've said tonight, Mr. Clinton, is over 50% of the people will not believe what you say, Mr. Clinton, and
Well-
it just remains to be seen.
Well,
if
these
any
are
of
the
these
same
issues
people
come
that
to
just
fruition.
elected me, Sam. They obviously believe the things I'm telling them, and obviously they feel.
Well, Mr.
that
Clinton,
I'm
I
telling
think
the
we
truth.
have to say, though, Mr. Clinton, is it so much that they believe you, or they just believe the Mob Dole less? I think that's the real issue, Mr. Clinton, and can you produce?
Well,
A lot of people, Mr. Clinton, are looking to the year 2000 when Al Gore becomes up for a nominee for president. I think that's something we have to consider.
I'll tell you what. The future, sure, we gotta look ahead. We gotta build that bridge. But I'm not looking to the year 2000 when Gore is going to be running. I'm looking at now. I'm looking at what I can do for this nation right now at this time. I want tacos. I want Legos. I want baseball. And I'd like some McDonald's fries right now, too.
I think you forgot
And-
pepperoni pizza, Mr. Clinton.
And we're going to have all that.
Baseball, tacos, Legos, and Chevrolet. It sounds like a splendid program, Mr.
You know,
President.
God bless America.
You know, I'm going to go out in just a few moments when this broadcast ends. I'd like you all to join me for a Big Mac and some fries and a chocolate milkshake, if you'd be so gracious.
Or perhaps
Throw
some
in a set of
tacos.
Legos, and you're
Perhaps
on.
some tacos. eh?
That's
Mr.
right.
Clinton, I was wondering maybe if you could send maybe one of those burgers to Cuba. Maybe then they'll fire on us, and then we can fire back.
Sam, you're talking about Cuba all the time. You know, I'm ready to go get some food right now. So it was nice talking with
Well,
you.
guys,
gentlemen.
let's go get some tacos.
I'll say we go out there getting some now. You ready?
I am quite famished.
I'd like to thank you once again
You
for
know,
joining us on News Night.
I think I'm
And have a good
ready for
evening.
some extra cheese. I'm ready for a Big Mac. I'm ready for a quarter pounder.
Where's my taco?